Jokic just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good! Of course it goes in! Jokic from downtown!
Lil Wayne is 40 years old. He's witnessed the play of Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, but still, he's seen nothing like Jokic. That's the greatness of the Serbian, whose astronomical numbers have never been seen before in the NBA. What the Joker's doing is godly. Never seen before, even when you look at the careers of basketball GOATs. Nikola Jokic may end up being the best center in NBA history, and in this video, we'll give you reasons to believe it. And no, it's not an exaggeration. Jokic is only 28 years old, and he's already one of 14 players in history who have been able to win a ring without another All-Star on his team. He's averaged 30 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists per game in the finals, including a 30-20-10 game in Game 3. Numbers that have never happened on the brightest stage of the NBA playoffs. But those are not exactly his only accomplishments. His accolades also include 2-time NBA MVP, 1-time Finals MVP, 3 times NBA First Team, and 2 times NBA Second Team. A resume that's within the reach of very few players in history, and that puts him on par with a prestigious legend like Hakeem Olajuwon.
Bumping, grinding, picked it up. Oh, pirouette, couldn't get it there, blocked the pass.
Jokic backing in, double team. Gets up the shot, pulls his way.
11. Houston to Hakeem. Hakeem double, turns and finger rolls.
But what makes Jokic such a special player? Well, the Serbian has a trait that's very different from all the centers in the league history, and that's his superhuman vision. Throughout the history of the league, coaches have been able to take advantage of the superstar big men by using help side defense. Using double teams has always been a common way to exploit the weaknesses of the best big men in NBA history. However, in Jokic's case, those weaknesses just don't exist. His ability to solve these types of situations is so dominant and regular that it's reminiscent of LeBron James himself. You can't double team him because he's so good that he's going to find the open player. Always. Not only has Nikola been able to shred Spoelstra's zone defense that's overthrown every other team in the East, but he's done it with scary ease. Because yes, with a core based on players whose ages are close to reaching their athletic prime, it looks like the Denver franchise's dominance is here to stay. Jokic is 28, Aaron Gordon is 27, Jamal Murray is 26, Michael Porter Jr. is 24. The Nuggets have not only managed to build the team to win a ring, but they may have just managed to create a foundation of a new dynasty that's poised to reign over the NBA. And to take the crown from the Golden State Warriors, the Denver franchise needs a player of Stephen Curry's transcendence. Is Jokic a player of this caliber? Time will tell, but the data says he can become one before long. Nikola has averaged 24.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 9.8 assists per game this season. There hasn't been a player in the NBA with at least those averages in points, rebounds, and assists since Oscar Robertson played for the Cincinnati Royals 61 years ago. This legendary Oscar Robertson season is also the only one to surpass the numbers from Joker's first MVP-winning season, in which he averaged 26.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game. But it doesn't end there. During the 2021-2022 season, Jokic averaged 27.1 points, 13.8 rebounds, and 7.9 assists per game, earning his second consecutive MVP. The last time a player finished with these averages happened? Never. It simply never happened. Nikola's domination is so apparent in today's NBA that he's capable of generating statistical anomalies just by stepping foot on the court. Is this influence enough to put him on par with probably the greatest point guard of all time? As we've said, time will tell, but just as it's been happening with Curry, Jokic has been influencing the play of new players entering the league. A very good example is Alperen Şengün. The young Houston Rockets center sees the game in a very similar way to the Serbian, and the Texas franchise has shown a willingness to give him the ball and let him run their offense. It's at that moment when a player with a playstyle that hasn't existed in the league before ends up influencing new players at his position. It's at that moment when you realize that Jokic's influence goes far beyond that of other NBA stars. There's a big debate right now about who's the best European player in history. And despite the fact that this continent has been the origin of a lot of talents throughout the history of the league, such as Tony Parker, the Gasol brothers, or Drazen Petrovic, the question has only 3 correct answers: Dirk Nowitzki, Nikola Jokic, or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Each in his own way, but these 3 players have brought new improvements to the game that have served as the foundation for basketball to continue to evolve. And the truth is, there's no right answer. No doubt Dirk to this day is still the favorite because, like Nikola, he managed to win a championship ring without another All-Star in his team in 2011.
Back to Jokic, shot clock winding down. Jokic has to put it up. High on 3. Oh, he knocks it down!
How do you?
Dirk on the post-up, statue shot.
Furthermore, the 14 All-Star selections in his resume demonstrate the consistency that the German provided to the Mavericks during his NBA career. However, if the Joker or the Greek Freak can get another championship during the course of their career, either will have a good argument to proclaim himself as the best European player ever. But let's go a little beyond titles. There was a window of time when Dirk Nowitzki could be considered one of the best 3 players in the NBA, along with probably Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. This was also the case with the Greek Freak, who after earning 2 MVPs and an NBA championship, was even considered by many as the next generational player in the league. However, to this day, no one has a single argument to say that Jokic is not the best player in the NBA. No one. You can go out on the street and ask everybody about the best player in the league, and whoever doesn't give you the Serbian for an answer is lying to you. Not only on a sensation level, but also on an analytical level. The box plus-minus statistic is usually a very good reference of how a player really performs. It's a measurement of a box score-based metric that estimates a basketball player's contribution to the team when that player is on the court. While it is true that we should never take statistics as the only argument, it's also true that this value has an incredible ability to predict who's going to be the MVP of the season. A final box plus-minus rating between 9.0 and 10.0 is usually a very outstanding season for an NBA star, and enough to be the best player in the league in a normal year. Some players have surpassed these marks in recent years, such as Antetokounmpo when he achieved his first MVP with a mark of 11.51, or Westbrook's season in Oklahoma, in which he managed to average a triple-double in addition to the MVP with an 11.10, or Stephen Curry's unanimous MVP season with an incredible 11.94. Nikola Jokic has achieved in the last 3 seasons a 12.09, a 13.01, and an incredible 13.72, the highest mark in NBA history. As of today, Jokic has 3 of the top 5 seasons in league history in box plus-minus. The 2 other seasons belong to LeBron James in the 2008-2009 season and Michael Jordan in the 1987-88 season. This was a statistic that put LeBron and Jordan in the top 2 all-time spots, and Nikola has destroyed it. So no, there's not a single player who can snatch the throne from the Serbian player right now. Not in the East, not in the West, and who knows if there will be any in the draft, even Wembanyama. We have one of the greatest prodigies in basketball history right in front of our eyes, and it's taken us many, many years to realize it. Today, it's hard to compare Nikola Jokic's career with those of players like Bill Russell, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but it's just a matter of consistency. On a peak level, Jokic not only matches, but surpasses the performance of these legends, at least statistically. From now on, if anyone thinks Jokic can end up being the best center, they're not crazy. We may in fact be talking about a visionary.